We're back with another episode. We're back with another episode of a Ritz Says. And this week was hectic, technically. It was kind of hectic. But yeah, I didn't do nothing crazy. Last week was Halloween. I didn't even notice it was Halloween. I went out at like 6 o'clock in the night to pick up like a little bit of groceries. Not even like grocery shopping. Like I needed some peppers, some thought juice, parentheses, lime margaritas, and what else? I think that was it. So I'm outside, I'm like, yo, it's so busy. I get it Saturday, but it never looked like this on a Saturday in a while. I didn't see that much little kids. Had I seen little kids in costumes, I probably would have been like, oh, duh, Brittany, it's Halloween. But I saw a lot of like teenagers outside, so I mean, I used to be like a big Halloween person like in college, because they would have like popping parties or whatever. Ooh, it's losing focus. They would have like popping parties or whatever in college for Halloween. So I used to like that. I feel like those were the last days that I really celebrated Halloween. Like after that, like once I graduated, I don't remember the last time I put on a Halloween costume. Like I went to a Halloween festivity or anything. Like I haven't done Halloween in so long. Like, oh my God. It's like no purpose. So, I don't know. But yeah, this week is election week. Tomorrow is election day. So, you know, I hope you guys go out and vote. At first I was like, I'm not promoting voting on here or whatever. Not like that. Like, not no disrespectful, but like, I mean, go vote. Do what you want. Go do it. You know, I'm worried. I feel like either way it go, if Biden win, the world gonna go crazy. If Trump win, the world gonna go crazy. So, child, I'm gonna stay in the house on Tuesday. Well, Wednesday morning. We find out sometimes. You technically do sometimes find out Tuesday, depending on how long it takes, or you find out the next morning. I might stay up that night. You know what? I'm gonna watch the election play out on the news tomorrow. Definitely. I think I'm gonna stay up. I used the last one I didn't stay up because I just thought Hillary was gonna win and she lost, so whatever. But I think I'm definitely gonna watch the election this year. So tomorrow is election day. Go vote. Today is the last day. Dead ass. Like, you could have did absentee ballot, you could have did early voting. Now today is election day, so it's getting crazy. I wonder if there's like any like statistics, like is this the most amount of people who ever voted? Because I've never seen that much people do early voting before, ever. Like I've been seeing these lines for the voting. What? Yeah, I have not seen early, like I have never seen that much people online for early voting. So I wonder if this is like record breaking voting or something. Like I would love to know the statistics on that. So yeah. Whoever you vote for, you know, make the right choice, bitch. That's on you, you know, but, you know, go vote. Are y'all scared? Which I think, who y'all think gonna be worse? If Biden win, you think, like, them Trump supporters is scary, bitch. I think they gonna bug the fuck out clean. Like, I don't know. I think everybody worried if Trump win. I'm scared, like, when Biden win, Trump supporters is different. Like, they're different. Like, they're really different. Like, Trump supporters, they're different. Like, I be seeing how they behave. I even seen some in New York City. I don't know if y'all be out here. I've been seeing some shit out here, buddy. They're different. They're different. You feel me? Like, them niggas is different. People think if Trump gonna win, we gonna turn up. Trump already in office and we barely turned up. So imagine, you know, these little white supremacists don't get their way. Please. 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 So yeah, tomorrow's election day, a big day. I'm just happy too. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I just want all this shit to be over with. Like, tell me who my president is. Well, I already know who my president is, and that's Scott. I don't know about y'all. But okay, just let me know who is the president so that we all could come to terms with it, because we don't really got no choice, right? Or do we? I don't know. because shit is different in 2020. You feel me? I just want it all to be over with and done. And yeah, you know, I ain't gonna front. I kind of, you know, really want Biden and Harris to win, just because I feel like it feel like Trump been in office longer than 4 years. Like, I feel like he been in office, like, he's just too much. Like, he gotta go. So yeah, guys, go out and vote. If you haven't, did your early voting on your absentee ballot? I did the absentee ballot. Thank God, because I can't take the line. I know they're saying that the absentee ballot probably don't count. That sounds like more of a personal problem. I did what I can. That's all I can do. I can go out and vote. I voted. I made my voice heard. And look, if the absentee ballots don't count, I did what I can. I can't argue with this country, but for so long. I can't fight them. Not over no absentee ballots, bitch. I'll fight you for something else though. But the ballot, bitch, you can have it. You can have it. But I did what I can. Brittany did what she can. But anyway, we are Bizak. And this week we're talking about the beauty of being committed. Right? And it's gonna be kind of like this, you know, the different types of men, the different types of women. So I'm gonna talk about commitment this week and talk about being single next week. And I'm married though. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I feel like I've been single for way longer than I've been committed. And I definitely see the different aspects of it. And I think it's good because I feel like there's people who are committed and they're like, oh my God. Some people, I wish I was single. I wish I knew what it felt like to be single, or whatever the case may be, whatever's going on in our minds, or whatever the case may be these days. And then I feel like there's people who, you know, are single and they want to get in a relationship, and you can't have it all. You can't have it all. So yeah, if y'all hear the heat up, the heat is on. It's getting cold, child. It's getting a little nippy. Our apartment is nippy. It's getting a little nippy. So I got the heat on over here. And yeah, anyway, let's get into the topic. So the beauty of being committed. In an article titled "The Beauty of Commitment," written by Nicole Ziza Bauer, writes, commitment is the anchor that keeps us afloat when we feel the pull to drown, enabling us to go beyond what naturally we would be comfortable with to brave newer and greater heights. To hold us to something bigger than just our own self-interest, and to carve in our hearts a new C word to replace the fear of courage. So, what do I love about being committed? So now I'm in a relationship, clearly. Duh. And I know people don't like this word, but I do in some ways enjoy the structure of it, because I know some people don't like to hear structure in relationships, just like we don't like to hear submission and things like that. Structure, we don't like to hear structure a lot in general. Like, a lot of people don't like structure in companies these days and all that stuff. But there is a sense of structure, right? Sometimes, well, not sometimes. I know when I was single, I felt like I was just all over the place, right? I'm talking to this guy, and when I'm talking to this guy, I don't like when he does this, so I might start talking to this guy, and I'm on this app, and I'm going to this party. Because when you're single, you're on a venture. For the most part, most people are on a venture to eventually, you know, find somebody that they want to be with or whatever. So in order to find people or find someone you want to date, you got to put yourself out there. So you're going here and there and this way and that way and this way. You're going out to brunch, and then you're going out to the nightclub. Then you're going to the gym, and you're going to the library, and you're constantly on this go looking for somebody to date, right? you're putting it, you have to put, if you're single and you want somebody and you're not putting yourself out there and you're not going nowhere and you're in the house, I don't know what to tell you. But I know that for me, when I was single, I was out there. You on the apps and you doing, like, you're trying to find someone to date. Like, you're trying. You're doing what you can. When you're committed, you don't gotta do none of that. All that is done. You could go to the club, by all means. You could still go to the gym, obviously. Like, some stuff we obviously do with intent for ourselves. Like, when I would go to the gym, I would go to the gym because I want to lose weight. But I would also be like, look, I could find my husband here today. You feel me? Like, it was that type of energy. Or, you know, I'll go out to eat with my friends because, look, there might be a guy there and he might want to talk to me while I'm out eating or whatever. That was the energy that I was on back then, or whatever the case may be. But when you're in a relationship, you just, all that is out the window. You're not, like, going out and just like, oh, I hope somebody talks to me. You're not feeling like, oh, da-da-da-da. You just living life going out to eat. Like, just imagine that. Like, I'm going out and I'm just going out. You know, I'm working out and I'm just working out. Like, I'm not working out thinking like, what if a guy comes up to me and says, oh, me today? Like, you just going out. That's it. Like, it's that form of just structure. And sometimes you don't even have the thrill to go out. I remember when I was single, sometimes even when I didn't really want to go out, I would go out because I felt like, bitch, like, how you gonna ever find a man, bitch? Like, you don't have, like, I felt like I ain't have room to be like, I don't want to go out. You know what I mean? Like, bitch, you need a man. You know what I'm saying? So, that beauty of having that structured type of life where you just like, I have one person, me playing with these two braids, I have one person that I'm with, one less thing to worry about, you know, just that structure. I think that's like the best part, to be honest, too. Like, it's literally just like, you just got somebody you want to be with, that you love, and you just figuring it out and working it out with that one person, you know, and you just keeping it going and going and going, and y'all rocking until the wheels fall off, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, that process is not always easy all the time. It's definitely not always the easiest thing to do. It comes with a lot, you know, but just to deal with one person, be monogamous. But it's doable, and it's in some way for me, because I don't want to get too crazy, because I know next week I might say things and it might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm definitely not. There does come a good beauty with having one person to deal with, vice versa, juggling so many men. Sometimes doing that could be fun, but to a certain extent, you know, you get to calm that shit down. Like, you could calm it down. What do I hate about being committed? What do I hate? Like, just having to, you know, like, figure it, like, not, like, just having to, like, in some ways, figure it out with one person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say this because it might sound problematic, but, like, you kind of lose your independence. You do, in a sense. You know, I wouldn't say I hate, because hate is such a strong word, but you kind of, like me, like, before I do something, I wouldn't just dip out the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just, like, because if he was to do that, I'd be like, excuse me, where the fuck are you going? You're just leaving? Like, you feel in some ways you have somebody to answer to or tell, and they do too, right? Because you can't just be getting up and going and dipping and doing and dopping and do. You can't. You cannot. Like, because we're like, what are you doing? Are you living having secrets? Like, what's going on? And it's weird. Like if you somebody who's accustomed to like being independent more than being in a relationship, because there's some people who just serial daters, like they're constantly in a relationship. They don't know what the fuck it feels like to, you know, be independent. I know what it feels like. I know the feeling of not having to tell anybody any motherfucking thing. Like, oh, you know, you just like getting up and you just leaving it, you just dipping it, you just going here and there, you just switching your vibe every 5 fucking minutes, bitch. Like, that's just how I operate. Like, I go out and say I'm going to the mall. Next thing, I end up at a friend house, and then after I end up at a friend house, I end up going out to eat, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I need to get something from Target, and da 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 da. It's like you, like, that's how I operate. Like, that's the type of person that I am. But when you out, let's say you said you was going to the mall, but your mall trip turned into like a 5-hour trip. It's like, oh, let me tell my man, like, oh, I'm going to my friend's house next. Don't get worried, you know. And it's not about being aggressive or possessive. It's about caring. Like, if I'm out and family, they call me, I'm thinking like, yo, this nigga don't give a fuck if I die, if I got into a car accident. Like, bitch, I want my phone to ring. And sometimes he dead don't even be calling me. Like, I've been going for 10 hours, bitch. You can I have a ring? You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about possessiveness, or it's about caring. It's about love. It's about respect. It's about like, yo, cause and what if it's not, maybe let's say he do leave and he going for a little too long, bitch, where the fuck are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can get weird. Like, shit do get a little interesting, you feel me? Like, so it's like those little things that it's kind of weird, because I'm so accustomed to not doing that. Like, I don't even like answer to my parents, so it's like having somebody. But the thing though in a relationship is it comes naturally. Like, me with my parents, it didn't come naturally because I just be wanting to be grown. But like, in a relationship, it just comes so naturally for me. Like, I'll just be like, oh, I'm about to head out. Oh, but it's weird. Some people are not privy to that. Like, if you've been and always been in a relationship, you probably like, that's the worst part. And it's like, because I was thinking that, like, I was thinking when I did this topic, like, Brittany, it's people who really always been in relationships. You probably think that. So I wonder if, like, you the type of girl that's always in a relationship, you've always been in one, do you feel like that aspect is weird? Like, the aspect of telling someone where you're going? Because I'm wondering if that's just a me thing. Because our girl who's been single longer than she's been in a relationship, I wonder, like, because some people, like, I'm accustomed to that. That makes sense to me. Is there anything I don't like about being in a relationship? I feel like it's weird to talk about family. Like, I feel like sometimes, like, I feel like when you find the right person, a lot of stuff can't bother you but so much. There are aspects of being single that can be fun though, you know, having that variety of men, you know. The energy is different when you're single, you feel me? Like, it's just an energy, it's just a vibe. And you don't kind of have that certain je ne sais quoi to you. Like, it's just not there. When you're committed, it's just different. Like, but it depends on who you with though. Like, for real, cause like, if you with somebody, y'all just rocking, it's like, you're not really pressed to hate but so much. So I guess it's not too much. When you find that right, like a good person, like somebody you wanna, like, you don't mind really just chilling with, it's not too much, in my opinion, to hate. How did you overcome your fear of commitment? Because remember in season 1, I talked about having fear to commit, right? Patience. And like I said, finding the right person. Because once you hit that pathway where you find somebody that want to rock with you, or that aligns with whatever you want in a guy or a girl, whoever you date, you'll want to settle down because you're like, all right, he hit that check mark, he hits that check mark, he hits that check mark. What am I running from? Why do I not want to commit? Do you want to keep playing around these silly games? And that's one of the other things that I enjoy about being committed. I should have brought that up. Is that the dating pool is fucking insane. Like, I remember dating and just being like, oh my god, like, oh my god, like, ugh. Like, the man, like, man, what is wrong with you guys? I know it's good ones out there because we hear it all the time. And just dating could be a lot. Dating is fun. The first date is fun. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, after like 3 to 4 dates, true colors start showing, and it's just like I'm here for first dates. I love the free food. Like, I am that girl. Y'all don't want to hear it. I know men be like, I hate y'all broke, want to eat off niggas bitches. Yes. Going out to eat, going out on dates, chilling, having fun. But just dealing with the emotions, you know. But back to the question, you know, when you find someone, I think you'll overcome the fear a little bit, because you're just like, nothing bad is happening. Like, we're cool, we're clicking, we're vibing. Like, why would I mess this up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? What would I benefit from that? What would I benefit from messing up with what I got right now? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just interesting. It's a lot to like take in. But I think that's really what it is. I think when you find somebody that's just like, they want to commit to you, they want to be with you. But then again, it's sometimes when somebody might want to commit to you and you don't want to commit to them. And that might be because the check marks aren't there for you. So it's not really about the fear of commitment, is it? Though it's more about finding the right person or someone you think is right. And I want to be clear too that, look, you might commit to somebody that you thought was right and they're not right, and that's fine. Shit happens. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you might be in a moment, you might be in a time where you might see things as perfect, and maybe it's not, you know, and then 4 or 5 years down the line, and that's fine. So don't overthink stuff. Like, life is a journey, life is a pathway. Like, we don't know where it's going. It's such a big journey, it's such a big aspect. Like, I feel like when you get that fair commitment, I think you're trying to think like, oh, can I see myself? Those are things to think about. Can I see myself being with this person for a long time? Can I see myself having children with this person? Those are things to think about. Don't get me wrong, but if your gut is telling you like, I kind of really like him, like, let it flow until you see some red flags. If you're not seeing huge red flags, like, just let it flow. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I overcame my fear. It's just like, when you find somebody that's willing to rock for you, that'll hold you down, somebody who's there for you when a lot of people won't be there for you. It just happens. Like, it'll happen. You'll know when it happens. That stuff will chase you out of your fear of commitment. Can I understand why commitment doesn't work? Do I believe that? Now that I am in this situation, I could definitely see why commitment may not work for all. Definitely, that is a big fact, because it's hard. You gotta remember, every person in this world, I don't know how many people in this world are, but every person in this world is different. We've all have different life experiences. When we walk out the door, some of us go right, some of us go left, some of us go straight, some of us go the other way. Like, it's just like, all of us are so different. So when you tell yourself you're going to get in a relationship with someone, you're gonna have to take their bullshit. You're gonna have to take their baggage. You're gonna have to take their luggage. You're gonna have to take everything that come with them. Whatever they have, you're taking with you, right? So, for a lot of people, if you're like the selfish type, yeah, I'm gonna say that, you can't really handle the idea of dealing with somebody else's bullshit. And I do say that. I do think it's annoying sometimes when people have their own problems that they haven't worked on. Like, they haven't done the work, and it's like, now I gotta get in a relationship with you and deal with your bullshit. But at the same time, when you find someone that you love and care about, you'll be willing to work through those problems. But you gotta pick and choose your battles, sis. Like, it's a weird game. Like, oh my god, this topic is so crazy because, and you know what's funny, I know the single one is gonna be way easier for me than the commitment one. And this is why, the fact that it's hard for me to talk about the beauty of being committed than being single speaks volumes about why it is so hard to commit. Because you gotta remember, no, nobody want to talk about it. Well, people do. People talk about it all the time, but it is what it is. Like, you sitting down with one person in a world where there's millions and trillions of people, right? So that is hard to do. It's not all beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It is hard to, like, in hindsight, you picking one person out of all these people. Right? I know some of y'all like, well, if you don't want to be with him, you could go get with somebody. But you don't want to be in that bullshit. Like, you don't want to be in that. Like, nobody wants to deal with that. Like, if you're going to commit, you want to commit. For the most part, like, you want to find somebody that, this is it. This is who I'm rocking with. Like, this is just that on that. Period. And that's what makes it so hard for people to commit. I think a lot of us, they think this is the person I'm staying with. I don't want to go nowhere else. I'm committing to this person. And this is why a lot of us stay single for so long and you feel like you're settling, right? And let's get into that. You know, this is our episode. We could talk and still intertwine with the beauty of commitment. I think that we kind of overuse the term settling, right? Because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. Whomever you get in a relationship with, you're gonna find lots of flaws, and you have lots of flaws as well. And you're gonna feel like sometimes you're complaining to somebody about somebody and whatever. And it's like, am I settling? You're not settling, because let me tell you, sis, when you get with the next dude, he gonna be a headache, and the dude after him, and the dude after, or all of us is a fucking headache. You a headache too. Like, it's not settling. Certain things are settling. Like, you gotta know when somebody is draining you, that, and you still stay with them, that's settling. And you gotta know what's the difference between being drained. Drained is when they just like, girl, they taking your money, they taking your self-esteem, they taking your fucking, they taking everything you got. It's for so much you can give. Jesus. It's but so much a person could give. I don't know. So it's weird. It's a weird spectrum, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know, because I'm just thinking about everything, like, because y'all just sprung up or something in me about settling, because that's a common thing you hear is like, am I settling? Could I have met my real Prince Charming? Who the fuck is a Prince Charming? Like, at one point, Jada and Will was the pinnacle of dating, and Jada and Will even, they were in an entanglement. You know what I'm saying? They were, Jada was up dabbling with a younger man, and we looked at them like, wow, and they've been together for long. Like, stop saying I don't want to settle. Like, what is settling to you? Like, for real, what is settling? Like, I feel like a lot of people be like, I don't want to settle. A lot of y'all married and y'all settled. No, we didn't. Or like, nobody settled. Like, because if you really think about it, like, for real, logically, you're always gonna find bullshit in somebody. Like, when you're dating someone who has a different life experience than you. You're bound to clash. There's gonna always be something that's nitpicky. And I think that people who are in relationships, people who are married, constantly deal with that notion in their head, like, could I be with someone different? Am I settling? Could I have found somebody better than this person? And I do think it's possible, but are we just tussling with our thoughts because we had a bad day with our spouse? Like, you gotta know the difference. I think a lot of us don't really know the difference in hindsight a lot of time. So just because you had a bad week or a bad month or a bad argument or whatever the case may be, it doesn't mean that, you know, that commitment isn't, I mean, that you're settling with someone. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that at all. And I think that sometimes we get those two confused, and some people are just confused in general, and I think that's why commitment can't work for some people until they really understand that it's not gonna always be perfect. You do need to know when things are toxic, when what is too much arguing. I think when you're doing it every day, but you might have a month in your relationship where for some reason y'all arguing every day, maybe because something bad happened that month, bitch, and you gotta know, like, it's gonna get better. If you know this ain't gonna never get better, then I don't know. It's weird, cause like, you're gonna have days where it's bad, but it shouldn't be every day, like 365 days out of the week. And I mean, an argument, having a debate about, I don't know, what's the debate? Ugh. I'm like looking around me to figure out who has better sneakers, Nike or Adidas. That's not an argument. That's just a debate. You know, it's weird. It's a weird contrast. Like, you just gotta know. It's just a vibe. It's just a feeling that you get. Do I really believe that commitment doesn't always work? You know, I'm too early in the game. I feel like if you put your mind to it, it could work. And like I said, the beauty of it is it comes with structure. Do you enjoy going out dating all the time, like, for real? And you might want to settle down and you want to start a family and have kids, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm gonna keep it a bucky. I do not believe you could be single and have kids and do it like you did it with intent, not by, you know, I wouldn't say by life. Like, let's say you laid up with somebody you thought it would last and had a kid by them and it didn't, that's different. But if you realistically, to me, cannot say, I don't want to commit, but I want kids, unless you're doing it through, you know, the sperm bank, or what's the thing called when somebody carries your baby for you? I forgot. How did I forget that? You know, the woman who carries your baby, or you do an adoption. But I don't think you can, you know, like, if you want to start a family and you wanna build with somebody, like, you're gonna have to commit. That's my opinion. I said what the fuck I said. Like, you cannot, like, why would you want to have a kid with somebody you don't want to be with in hindsight, or really, like, realistically really want to be with long term? Unless you get pregnant, right? And, like, I'm not saying that. It's sometimes, yes, we do nasty, and then you know, you get pregnant by somebody that you didn't expect. That's completely different. That was, I don't like to say mistake, but you know. But I'm talking about if you really dead ass with somebody and y'all don't want to be committed to each other, y'all not committed, and you sit up and still have a kid with them, I think that is unhealthy. It can work. I mean, there's kids every day created that way. But I think there should be some form of commitment tied to having children when you're doing it with intent. I think I said that logically. When you're planning to have kids with intent, I think you and that person should want to be committed. I said what I said. And that's just that on that. So yeah, I do believe there needs to be some form of commitment when you want to build with someone. Yes, it needs to be that form of commitment there. How has your family and friends come to terms with your relationship ideals? Why is that a question on this topic? Well, I don't get that question, and I don't know why I put it there. How has your family and friends come to terms with your relationship ideals? I think I just be making up stuff. That question does not does it correlate with this topic? Like, I need time to process that question, bitch. I mean, I never asked if they come to terms with my relationship ideals. I like my relationship ideals. Like, the fuck? What the fuck is that? What type of question is that? Like, that just pisses me all the way off. Bitch. I mean, hey, look. That question makes no... I don't think it makes sense to the topic. I don't know why I wrote that. But I don't have relationship ideals, I guess. I do, but I never really talk to my family and friends about them. What I do, you know, on a podcast and in person, I mean, you can have ideals on a relationship and people still gonna do what they want to do. I mean, some relationship ideals could be controversial, right? Like what I just said. But see how everything ties in together. Like saying, I believe you should want to be committed with that person if you want to have a baby by them. It's somebody you want to grow with and build with. I stand by that. A lot of people, I'm not saying you should be married when you start having kids. I'm not saying that. I'm saying whomever you want to have a kid with intent, you should want to be committed to them. If you accidentally, you know, slip up and get pregnant and it wasn't with somebody you wanted to get committed to, that's different. And you know, some people say, look, you shouldn't be laying around with somebody you don't want to have kids with, and that's a fact. I learned that, you know, when I had some mishaps in my life. Like, yo, that's a big fact. You know, when you start having pregnancy scares and you gotta pay $50 for a plan B, and it's like, girl, like, you can't keep living like this. like for real, like that's in a relationship ideal. I stand by that statement. Like, if you don't want to have sex with somebody, if you don't want to have a kid with somebody, you should not be sleeping unprotected with them. Big facts. If you, like, think about that. Like, if you feel inclined to be like, yo, and it's one thing, yeah, some of us, you know, take plan Bs and you have pregnancy scares when you're having sex at a young age. That makes sense. But if you grown, bitch, and you like, y'all, I can't have the kid by this nigga. Like, come on. You gotta protect yourself. And we all make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? But I do stand by that as well. Like, you know, you shouldn't be laying up with nobody you don't want to have kids with. Especially at a certain age. Especially, you shouldn't. You just shouldn't. Because it speaks volumes about that person and about that your relationship with that person. It speaks volumes. It's high volumes. But back to the topic. Don't know why that was a question on here, which is mad funny, but whatever. You know, it's so much beauty in, you know, being committed Just having somebody you wake up to every morning, even when they get on your motherfucking nerves, you know. Just having somebody to fall on too, right? When you find the right person, right? Like, if something get fucked up, I know I could go turn and be like, yo, Femi, let me tell you what happened. We got to do this A, B, C, and D. Sometimes, you know, I always, and that's the beauty too of being single and being independent, is that you learn how to fall on yourself. Some women have never been single. They always have somebody to fall on to. God forbid something happens to their significant other. What the hell would they do? They would lose their brain. But it is exciting and it is helpful to have somebody to fall on. Dead ass. Like, if you've been doing it alone for so long and just knowing like, damn, shit got fucked up, but I know he's gonna help me. It's a good feeling. It definitely is. I must say, it is very good to have somebody to fall on. And these things that I bring up are prime examples of knowing when you got somebody that you should commit to. Can you fall on that person? Can that person fall on you? Let me tell you, I ain't got it all together right now, but God forbid something happen with him, I'm gonna figure it out. I bet you that I'll go get 8 jobs, bitch. Figure this whole shit out. Figure this whole shit out. For those of y'all streaming, my hair, I swung my head, my hair hit me in my eye. But yeah, you know, it's definitely very good to have somebody to fall back on when things get hard. Somebody to talk to. I know sometimes with men, they're not the easiest to talk to. They may not always listen, but at least you got somebody to talk to. It's just having that form of safety, like life safety. When I say that, I mean like you're not worrying. And I mean like, because this is like problematic. Like when it comes to having sex with somebody, you're just having sex with one person. You're not worrying about. But some people could be like, well, your man could be cheating on you, and it's like, all right. Let's be optimistic. Having one person to just lay up with. You're not out here dibbling, dabbling, jibbling, jabbling, sitting on everything, honey. You know, it comes with a beauty. Just commitment, the full beauty of commitment to me is just, like I said, structure. That is the only thing. I literally feel that way. Like you just have a streamline, you're not out like a chicken with your head chopped off. Though next week when I speak on being single, a lot of things that I will talk about are about being run around, you know, all over the place and why it's fun. But after a while you get tired of that, you know. And it's good to just have that. Like just, it's too much. You know, like I know, like that's my man, that's that, like boom, boom, boom. It's like one thing less to worry about. But you gotta make sure you committed to the right person. That's a finnack, a big finnack. Like that's really like big. The more I talk about it, I realize how important it is to really, like I understand that duh, but it's so important to just find somebody that you can fall back on. Somebody who cares about finances, right? You don't want to date a bum or a slum. Somebody that you want to have kids with. Somebody that you want to build with. This person that you with is serious. Like, oh my gosh. The reality of it all. You know, so it's all about really just finding somebody that you want to build with, grow with. And that's the beauty of commitment. It's like once you find a person that you could build and grow with, even through the bad, it's beautiful. It is, you know, it really is. Just to have somebody, you know, they gonna get it all together and figure it out and line everything up so beautifully and so perfectly. And I personally think that's the beauty of being committed. It's just not having to be out here just giving it up different. Like, you just have somebody that's there for you, but you gotta make sure it's the right person, because you could be committed and be committed to somebody that's not gonna be there for you or whatever. And I completely understand that, and that's why, you know, a lot of us don't want to be committed. But the beauty of that is having someone to fall on, having someone you want to build, you know, a family with, and you don't have to deal with keep looking and looking and looking. You know how it is when you can't find your keys for some weird reason, and you just looking and looking and looking, and you just start getting frustrated. That's what it's like sometimes being single to me. Like, you waking up in the morning, you just got dressed, you got your bag, you got everything packed, and then boom, at the end, when it's time to walk out the door, you can't find your keys, and you just rummaging, looking everywhere. You tearing up the house, you looking through the dirty clothes, you looking everywhere. You're constantly looking, and it's frustrating. And then when you finally find them damn keys, that feeling, that's what it's like when you get committed. Is when you're looking for your keys right before you walk out the door, and then you finally find it. It's like, that's the best way to describe it to me. Like, for real, it's like, and you happy? You not only are you happy you could walk out the door, but you're happy that you found the keys, because you could have lost them. But you know you ain't losing shits, because you know, like, how the hell did I get in the house or whatever. But that's the feeling of, you know, when you find that right person. It's like when you find the keys when you thought you lost them, right? When you thought you lost your mind, you found the man, bitch. So it's a feeling you get. So the beauty of commitment always to me will be structure, and the feeling that you get when you build a union. You found that one person that you just like, this is it. Nothing beats that. So yeah, this is this episode. The beauty of being committed, this episode totally went completely different from what I thought it would be. So it speaks kind of a lot of volumes about commitment, and I will talk about that in next week's episode, the beauty of being single, and I'll tell you why everything will correlate. That's why I couldn't get too crazy in this episode, because I didn't want to give up too much in next week's episode. But next week's one might be a little bit more controversial. I could feel it, because this episode brought so many thoughts into my head. It's messing with my mind frame. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, the beauty of being committed. And yeah, go out and vote tomorrow.